It's not always glamorous, but it's worth it. So I started my production company, Power Crown Studios, in June of 2023, and I was doing social media management. Now it's April of 24, and I make commercials and I offer a huge revitalization campaign for business owners. Now the story on how I went from doing social media management to making commercials is a whole video in itself, which I'm going to make eventually. Along that road, I learned many things and a lot of truths in running a production company. So today I thought I'd spill out all the truths that I've learned on what it takes to run my production company. Hopefully these could help somebody else. All right, number one, you don't need gear to start, but you do need gear to grow. Now what do I mean? When I started, I had a $500 camera, my phone, and my laptop, and for the stuff I was doing, I probably could have forfeited the camera, and I could have maybe even edited on my phone. So you don't need a lot of stuff to start. What you have is enough. But as my clients started getting better and bigger and more higher quality clients, I had to get gear that would mirror the kind of quality they were expecting and the kind of quality I wanted to deliver. That's where the whole you don't need gear to start, but you do need gear to grow comes from. And when I say you need better gear, I'm not saying you need to get RE cameras, anamorphic lenses, a Mac Studio, stuff like that. No. You can take your gear from the beginner level to about the intermediate pro level for about a couple grand, which yes, does sound like a lot, but remember, we're getting better paying clients now. Those clients will start paying it off. So that's number one. You don't need a lot of gear to start, but you do need to start buying gear if you want to grow. All right. Number two, my network is one of my biggest assets, if not my biggest asset in client acquisition. Now, what am I talking about? Before I had any networking groups or anything like that, I had 1 to 2 small clients a month. Once I started joining networking groups and really putting myself out there with other high quality business owners, that's when my business started turning into a business. If you're not great at client acquisition and getting leads like I am, joining a networking group and really building out your network with higher end business owners in your area or in your niche or whatever, is one of the best ways that you can start your client acquisition journey. And here's a side thing, if you can cut them a deal, you now have salespeople. Now what am I saying? Maybe you give them a discount, but if they ask for, let's say you're taking headshots, they ask for 20, you deliver 40 because you took 40 anyway, here's what's gonna happen, more than likely. Next time they hear one of their friends saying, yeah, dude, I need a commercial or I need some pictures taken, they're gonna be like, dude, my guy over here cut me a deal, over-delivered, let me give you his number. You start getting people like that in your network and they start expanding your network. So that's a really great way for client acquisition, especially if you're really bad at it like I am, is really start building out a high quality network around you. Number three, I had to prove that I knew what I was doing before I did it. Now, what am I talking about? Okay, I wanted to make commercials. I had never made a commercial before, so what I had to do was make spec ads and commercials for my business, and then I took those commercials and I showed them to potential clients, to leads, and I said, hey, I made this kind of a commercial. Would you like this kind of commercial? Yes? All right, let's talk about the price. But I first had to prove that I knew what I was doing. And that's why I say you have to prove it to yourself first. It's not like some motivational, you have to prove it to yourself first. You're the only person you have to prove it to. Nothing like that. But it's like, hey, I want to make this type of video. Do I have the time, the resources, and the knowledge to make it? Let me find out. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I made this video. Looks good. Let me go ask this lead. Hey, I made this kind of video. Would you like this kind of video? Yes. All right, let's talk about the money. Then what happens next? You go to this next lead and you say, hey, I made this video as a spec ad, I made this video for this business, and they actually paid me for this. Would you like this type of video for your business? Yes? Okay, then let's talk about what we're gonna pay here. See what happens? You have to first prove that you can do it before you can get the client. At least that's how it works for me. Just letting you know, maybe it could work for you too. All right, number 4, understanding how the client standards relate to my standards. I'm a perfectionist. If I'm done rendering the entire thing, but I see that a graphic showed up 5 frames late, I will go fix it and re-render the entire thing. That's the kind of person that I am. Your client though, however, probably doesn't care if the graphic showed up 5 frames late, they just care that the graphic is there. That's where it's really important understanding where your client standards are, where your standards are. For example, if your client says, yeah, it's just gonna go on YouTube, people are gonna watch it on their smartphones, might get 200 views in the entire year, it's just mainly gonna be used for promotional material for the next event next year. Cool. That means you probably don't need to shoot in 4K. You probably don't need to color grade it like a Hollywood movie. You don't need to make Dolby surround cinema sound, stuff like that. I'm not saying to make it bad, but I'm saying that there's the standard that the client wants and there's the standard that you have. And there's a point there where you can still over-deliver from their standard, but not to the point where you're stressing out over all these minute details. So understanding what the client wants and what you want and how they relate to each other can be super helpful in clearing that stress out. And here's another thing also. If you are able to save time, and with that saved time, you're able to deliver to the client, and then they're like, oh, you made this awesome video for me in way less time than I expected. Guess what? Now you might have a faithful client for life because you were able to deliver high quality in a good amount of time because you weren't stressing so much. So that's something very important that I'm learning. And I say I'm learning because I'm still trying to get better at that. All right, number 5. Half is for you, half is for the client. Now what I'm talking about, resources. This isn't personal resources, this is my business resources. A good rule of thumb is that half the time I'm gonna be spending building the business and keeping it alive, and the other half of my time I'm gonna be spending on client projects. Same goes for money, for resources, all of that. Now I'm not saying this is an exact 1-to-1 ratio, but it's a good budget to have in mind. When you start think half of my business resources are gonna go to keeping the business alive, the other half are gonna go to keeping the clients happy. That's just a pretty good mind frame to have. Number 6. I had to learn to be both a businessman and an artist. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I had to learn to play both games. I had to learn how to build my business, how to keep my business alive, and also, since this is a production company, I had to learn how to get better at my art skills, the artistic side, storytelling, emotional, color grading, all that stuff to make the quality good. There were times where I would only focus on one side of it, and then this side was really falling down, so then I jumped over to this side to really fix it, and this side was falling down. It was a mess. So you have to learn how to balance both being the business person and the artist in your business, especially if you're a solo guy like me. And something that I learned that helped me a lot was simplifying. I had this huge, crazy acquisition funnel that I was trying to make, was not working for me. So instead what I did is I just really simplified it. If I go to this networking event with this really good offer, I tell X amount of people about it, and then if they like it, they book a call with me. That's way simpler than what I was thinking. And then even with the creating stuff, probably don't need to create stuff with crazy amount of graphics and all these crazy editing effects. Just need to make a good video. So when you simplify, it helps you a lot. And it's really like you're ahead of the game because everybody's trying to simplify it anyway. So you can start simple, you're already ahead of the curve. You have to be both the business person and the artist, but starting simple can be really helpful in that. All right, number 7, stay true to your foundations. One of my main things in starting this business was I wanted to create art that honors God and resonates with audiences. So how do I do that? Does that mean I'm only taking clients that are making these super emotional God stories and want something like that? No, but God did bless me with these talents, so I want to use these talents and these gifts to create super high quality videos, photos, deliver them in an orderly fashion, be a nice person to my clients. That's honoring God. And it resonates with the audience because if you can deliver high quality and in time, be really nice to them, that resonates with them. They're like, hey, I really liked you. I really like the way you are. Yeah, so staying true to my foundations is something that's really helpful. So I want to honor God and I want to resonate with audiences, and that's one of my biggest things. Different clients will come and go, but you'll be able to get these clients because they know that you're staying true to who you are. So a little bit of a deeper tip there, but very, very important. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Quick video, just trying to get my thoughts out on some things I learned, that what it takes to run a production company. Hopefully if you're running a production company too, you want to, you're in the middle of it, hopefully these help. And if you're a business owner looking to revitalize your online presence for lead nurture purposes, then go ahead and go to powercrownstudios.com and book a time to talk with me, and hopefully I can help you out. I would love to do that. But yeah, that's all for today. Sorry it's taking me so long to post. I know I'm great at posting consistently, but until next time, stay creative and God bless. Esteban out.